Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started in here. Well, look who's back. Welcome again to another day with Professor Victor Singing Eagle here at Sisseton, Wahpeton College. English, Composition 1. Are you ready? All right, let's get started. Today I'm supposed to harass you guys about our final paper, but before we get into that, I got some stuff to share with you. Are you ready? Okay, so first thing in our announcements, hope you guys got all your daily journal entries all packaged and together. You're supposed to be turning those in, and of course I still have not created space for you to submit them, so I got to jump on that. That's on me, not you, but still you got to get all that stuff together in the meantime because I got to read them all, which reminds me I am running behind on grading all your essays and other assignments. That's my fault as well. So busy with this CDL class, getting it all together, and the stress involved with that is just driving me bonkers. By the way, I got to teach the class first day today. Yay! Today's tax day, Monday, April 15th, 2024. So I'm wearing my trucker outfit, accentuating my wonderful dudes. I don't know how to say that in English, but I got to explain that to truckers. I did this on purpose for the future fellow truckers, that they got to watch their weight being stuck in the rig all the time, never moving, and you don't get any exercise, and this is what happens. But never mind, we don't need to go there. I'm supposed to be focusing on our class, right? Okay, where was I? Right, 253 days till Christmas. Pop Quiz D is our last quiz. I'm going to post it this week. There's a whole bunch of email announcements for students, things like scholarships and registration and graduation and all that fun stuff, so check your school email. All right. Anything else? No. Okay. I have to harass you a little tiny bit more about logic before we even get into the final. So I'm going to pull this up just for fun. Let's let that sit there for a second. Today's logical fallacy is called ad traditionem, sometimes related to the appeal to fairness as well, and I will explain. Here's how it works. Fact: we have done X or thought or believed X for generations. Therefore, X is correct, right? Let's look at some examples. Well, I've been driving these great big Jake braking, double clutching, coal rolling Peterbilts ever since dinosaurs were around. So why should we switch to these flimsy new fuel-efficient DEF rigs? That's a trucker argument there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let's pull it up. What the heck? I'm going to type in coal rolling Peterbilt. Oh, look at that. So, right, in the old days, this is the way trucks looked. I mean, belching out all the black smoke and everything. I want to make it bigger. No, it's not going to let me make it bigger. Never mind. But an appeal to tradition says, we've been doing it this way for a long, long time. It's worked. Everything's fine. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Sometimes there's a problem, you see, because we have new technology. In the case of the coal rolling, Jake braking, double clutching Peterbilts, because we have new technology which makes them burn cleaner. So, yeah, we're looking at the appeal to tradition as a logical fallacy. And we just poked a hole in the argument, explaining why it's not a valid argument in that case. Here's appeal to tradition / appeal to fairness, which really gets my goat. as someone who owes almost $200,000 for both of my PhDs in English and anthropology, a student who took out $200,000 student loans. Here's how the argument works. I'm starting to talk too much and scramble and spin my wheels like a Jake breaking Peterbilt. The argument says, just like many others, I took out student loans for college, but I paid them back. Therefore, it's not fair to implement loan forgiveness programs now. Have you heard that discussion? Have you heard that argument before? There's all kinds of holes we can poke into that. It's not fair. Is life fair? I don't think so. It's a logical fallacy as well, because we can go crazy poking holes in that. We don't have enough time, because I'm supposed to be talking about some exceptions to the rule. Because there are some times when appeal to tradition could be considered a valid argument, such as the following. Here at Sisseton Wahpeton College, the Dakota language has been spoken among our people for generations, so we should do everything in our power to keep the language alive. That's an appeal to tradition, and it is discussing the importance of keeping a certain culture, historical. It says here, cultural heritage, traditional knowledge, historical significance. When we're trying to preserve things like that, we got to make exceptions. Logic or no logic. Another one, proven effectiveness. I'm going to pull this back up for a second. So here we have some problems. This is California forests, and they're unhealthy. And if you know anything about Native American tradition, California Indian tradition, you know that the natives of the old times of California, they used to practice what was called controlled burns. This is before the Washichu arrived. I shouldn't say that. That's a naughty word. Before the newcomers, before the colonizers arrived, you see, the natives would go into the forest and they'd burn all the underbrush and all the undergrowth and kind of clean up the forest, and that way the big trees would grow better. But then when the newcomers came along and they pushed all the Indians out of the land and stuck them on these desert reservations, whenever there was a forest fire or something, the newcomers just stamped out the fire, and nobody was practicing sustainable forest management, and so now we got all these problems with forest fires, such as that, and dying trees, which is also a problem, because you see, when there's a drought, like what's been going on recently, the trees get weak, and then the bugs come in, the borer beetles and stuff, and they bore into the bark and kill the trees, and that just makes it even more susceptible to forest fires. And I can go on and on and on talking about that, but we're talking about an exception to the ad traditionem logical fallacy. And we looked at cultural heritage, traditional knowledge, historical significance as an exception, and proven effectiveness as another exception. So we can finally get off of that and change the channel, because I'm going to talk too much. I got to walk you through Pop Quiz C, and I got to walk you through our final paper, don't I? How are we doing on time? Let's see. Oh, goody, 9 minutes. I'm going to stop it and do part 2. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.